22nd now. We are live. Woo! Welcome to our Success Mastermind for Friday the 26th of August, 2022. John Lavenia here with you. Jonalyn here because I saw Linda and Lindsay and Lynn are here. So Jonalyn, coming to get you live. Linda, can I see your dog? Can we get some action from you and your dog, please?
Me? Oh, thanks, Linda. Yeah, he's not. He I don't know what his deal is. He just trips.
He looks good. He looks happy.
Missy, yeah. He's not telling Missy. Telling Missy. He's like, dog walker. So
hey, buddy. Good to see you. You know, I'm going to pull the plug on this real quick. Can you guys still hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, great. I'm going to show you what Shannon and I just did. My wife sometimes comes home with a puzzle. So we just did this puzzle. Let me get the lights on here. Lights. Check out this puzzle, guys. Huh? Look at that. And we left one piece out for our daughter to be the final puzzle solver. There you see it there.
How long did that take? Oh my God.
Yeah, 550 pieces. It's entitled Selfies. Yeah, there you go. Got a lot of dog lovers around here, cat lovers as well. So now you know. Who wants to hear a joke? Thank you, Lindsay, for sharing your dog with us here. Did I say Linda? I meant Lindsay. Thank you, Lindsay. All right, who wants to hear a chicken joke? Me. Okay, great. Well, since I do, let's see, get the sound going again here, plug back in. Check. Okay, very good. We good? We're good. Okay, so commence chicken jokes. Why did the penguin cross the road? Because the chicken was busy. What do you call a chicken crossing the road? Poultry in motion. There you go. One more. Why did the cactus cross the road? It was stuck to the chicken. I knew you'd like that, Missy. All right, good, clean family fun. Hey, today is Friday. I'm going to be here at 6 p.m. Eastern U.S. time for Be Heard. We did have a major announcement on Wednesday. Some of you didn't hear because you weren't present. Maybe you heard on the recording, but everything we're doing here in JLSM is moving into Brand Builder AI, and in different formats. We are going to have a book study group there. We are going to have master classes, and of course, all the software that Shannon and I have been working on for the last couple of months, which we just launched to help you grow your online business. So brandbuilderai.com is where you can get access to all that. And I will be sending out more formal communications on that over the weekend. Linda Landry, I don't know if you were on. I don't think you were. We just had day 2 of our Launch Your Irresistible Offer Challenge. So it's a 5-day challenge. We just did day 2, which was all about copywriting. I know you had your attention on that. You need to catch the replay of that if you weren't on that. Okay, so launch your irresistible offer to get leads and, like entry-level product sales and then upsells and all that. So using the funnels and everything, of course, brought to you by Brand Builder AI. I thought of you, Linda, while we were on that. By the way, I will just say, Shannon, I thought I knew stuff about copywriting. Shannon is like who you want to get with on that. Like, she has really studied that stuff. I ran to her office when we were done. And if none of you were on that broadcast, then no idea what she just did. But we just did, I would say $1,000 worth of training for free. And it was mostly all her. Like, I ran to her office when she was done. I was like, you are friggin' awesome. Holy crap. I not only got reminders about stuff that I could do better in terms of writing copy, creating, what it says on the page or on the email, but I learned stuff that I never even had my attention on, like which part of the document should you write first? Do you start with the headline or the title? No, you do the offer stack first, and here's why. And I'm like, whoa. I've got a secret weapon, guys. You all deserve to have a secret weapon, which brings me into what I wanted to talk with you about here today. So I'm entitling this Strength, Confidence, and Humility. I have some auto-suggestion exercises that I do. Let me qualify that. As we've read from many books, not just here in this group, but just whatever you read on your own, hopefully personal development kind of stuff, the word auto-suggestion has come up many times for us. And the person who made me aware of it more than anyone is Napoleon Hill, through his writings, especially the Think and Grow Rich classic. And in that book, he dedicates a whole chapter to this idea, this principle-based action of auto-suggestion. And I'm going to give you the definition that I came up with for that word. And here it is. It's what we tell ourselves about ourselves all day long, whether we know it or not. All right. So that we could say is auto-suggestion. So it is the self-talk, the suggestions that we give ourselves automatically, whether we're conscious of them or not. With that in mind, okay, now that you know what my concept of auto-suggestion is, it's the programming that I program myself with chronically all the time. I choose to be a bit deliberate about that, right? I mean, if it's going to happen, whether I know it or not, well, I'd like to know. And I'd like to, I mean, does anybody here like to live in a state of mystery? Why does my life work? Why does it not work? Why am I not solving these problems? No, I like to know stuff, right? So I want to know, if I'm going to be doing this anyway, how to do it better. And so I followed Napoleon Hill's suggestions and other mentors as well, who I've actually met, okay, and not just this dead guy who wrote a book, but I followed their suggestions, and I wrote out some things that I could read every day as reminders and as a goal statement, right? And one of the things that I wrote in there, and there's a formula for doing this. It's all inside Think and Grow Rich, chapter 2, desire, right? He gives you the steps on how to write this stuff out. Your goal statement, you can put it on a card, you could stick it in your bra, you can shove it in your pocket, you can put it on your phone, which is where I have mine, right? Because my phone's always in my pocket and I don't need big stacks of paper. I've got it right there. It's one of the notes in my phone, right? So I use an iPhone, which interfaces with the Mac, and whatever technology you're using, I don't care about the technology. I care that you're experiencing proper auto-suggestion. And one of the things that I state in my daily affirmative statements is that I teach others to be prosperous and operate from a position of strength, confidence, and humility. So let's break that down here. Okay, so this is part of the exchange. Okay, so in the formula that Napoleon Hill gave was, you go ahead and say exactly what you want, definiteness, right, and specific goals, and you put the timeline in there. A lot of you are familiar with SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely, right? So, but part of that he also said, and this is where a lot of people neglect, either just from being vague or being indecisive about how they're actually going to get to the goals, that which they want to receive. But part of it is to put, what are you willing to give in exchange? The example that I think Earl Nightingale talked about, I commit to giving the highest possible quality and quantity of service and the capacity of salesman of such and such product, right? So actually naming the exchange, naming the benefit that you will provide in the marketplace in exchange for the riches that you seek. Because there's no such thing as something for nothing, right? A lot of politicians need to learn that, but their time's coming. So we have the desire to be the recipient of benefits, money, right? Currency, right? So if we want that current to come in, we've got to substantiate that there's current going out. In fact, if we want to see that tide start moving, it starts with you moving it out. And then those who outflow shall inflow. So part of my intent I'm not going to read you the whole thing. It's none of your business. It's my business. Okay. But I just read you one sentence of it. So part of the thing which I intend to exchange, and to my greatest ability and the highest quality and quantity, I teach others to be prosperous and operate from a position of strength, confidence, and humility. So that's the part that I want to break down for you here, because you can add a statement like that into whatever you're doing. Okay, that's not a concrete, I teach or I give people a specific, outcome and that sort of thing. This is stuff that is more abstract, but it's stuff that I can fit in my mind to different scenarios, right? Like with the whole brand builder AI project, right? This is congruent with that more nebulous statement. Okay. And I didn't say, I teach people how to organize their business and create, sales funnels and email sequences and automate their, their business activities. And I didn't say all that. Okay. But in the more abstract way, the statement that I said includes those specific things. So let's break down the statement. I teach others. All right. So I'm a teacher. So that's good, right? That's good to know that's, in my case, that's part of what I do. Teach others to be prosperous. Okay. So not just to have prosperity or to do things that would lead to prosperity, but to actually be prosperous, to be that, right? So how do I do that? Well, through instruction, edification, content, where people can assimilate for themselves and become more like the person who is delivering the message, let's say. So there's a responsibility that comes with that. If I'm going to teach others to be prosperous, well, then I have to be prosperous myself. It's actually a really important part of it, lest I be some charlatan, and I think the world's got plenty of those, right? So what does it mean to be prosperous? Well, if it's true for you, then it's got to be true for me, right? In terms of like what I'm attempting to convey to others and have them assimilate. Well, let's see. What would I intend for them? I was the same thing I would intend for myself, kind of a golden rule kind of a thing. All right. So what do I consider being prosperous? Well, the word prosperous means doing well, right? So in terms of being in the flow with stuff, the flow of life, the experience of having the experience that you prefer to have, right? More of what you want and less of what you don't. Does that mean total arrival, fish and loaves, walking on water? No, in my case, it doesn't. Okay. But any successful person is a person who's progressively realizing a worthy ideal. And as soon as we're aware of that, as soon as we acknowledge that of ourselves, well, then we're successful. And then we're experiencing prosperity. We're doing well. We're taking deliberate actions that we've determined for ourselves are moving us in the direction of making more real the ideals that we hold, in high value. So it's not a quantity per se. All right. So I teach others to be prosperous and operate. So there's the doing this. So be prosperous and then do from a position. So whatever they're doing, okay, you're doing the e-commerce thing, you're doing the network, you're doing the job at the corporation, okay? But whatever you're operating, doing it from a position, so this is back to the idea of who's doing it, all right? A position of strength, confidence, and humility. Strength. Let's take that up. What does that mean to you? Okay, well, I can tell you what it means to me. What it means to me is having enough personal power to be able to go into situations and what some people would consider to be vulnerable, right? I consider being strong. In other words, being able to have the integrity to say, here's who I am, here's what I stand for. I wear this shield of armor, and my integrity, my beingness, my identity is more powerful than things that would suggest that I'm not able, not powerful enough, needing your validation or whatever. It's a self-validating position. Strength is a self-validating position. I've never heard that come out of my mouth before, but there it is. That's what just came out. So from a position of strength, or we could say, if this works for you, from a position of self-validation. Strength. Whatever that means for you, go ahead and figure that out, right? And by the way, this is my auto suggestion. This isn't yours. I mean, you can rip any of this off that you want, make it, if it works for you, if it's part of your mission, then do it. But from a position of strength, confidence. What is that? And we've had this conversation before. How do you increase confidence? And people go to like therapy for like decades and like, oh, I'm so cowardly. I'm so, low self-esteem, blah, blah, blah. Here's how you increase confidence. Let me save you all thousands of dollars. You increase confidence by observing that you did something right. In Integrity is Everything, I wrote one of the chapters. There's simple actions at the end of each chapter. And one of the actions is an integrity list. And this is a self-validating kind of a thing. All right. So just like a gratitude list, right? So instead of walking around, moping around like all miserable, you suck, life sucks, whatever. Okay. Well, what's all the great stuff that you've got in your life? Well, I can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. I can understand words. I can communicate. I've got a beautiful wife, daughter, house, right? And on you go, right? I'm well fed, well rested. Hooray, right? So that can be like a gratitude list. And so you're not focused on what you lack, you're focused on what you have. We're grateful for what we have. So likewise, an integrity list. Here's all the stuff I didn't screw up today. And it could start with the simple things, just like we did with the gratitude list, right? You could see, hear, smell, taste, touch. Well, great. I ate breakfast and I didn't choke to death. Wow. How awesome. You did great. Right? I walked down the hall and I didn't fall and trip and die. Okay. I mean, if we're starting at that low of a gradient, well, fine. Get on the on-ramp. Okay. And that will lead to more things. I said I would call the client, and I called the client. I was going to design 5 coffee cups for my e-commerce thing, and I designed the 5 coffee cup. In fact, I did 6. Whenever we recognize that we did something successfully, that is how we increase our confidence. In my experience, okay, you're a newbie, right? And you never did this thing before. You have very low confidence about it. If you're smart, stupid people have like a false confidence. They don't know that they don't know, and they think that they're the best at everything, right? It's called the Dunning-Kruger effect, right? So to know that you don't know, in other words, to know that you're ignorant, you have to be smart enough to know that you're ignorant. If you're not smart enough to know that you're ignorant, you'll think that you're smart. It's kind of an interesting, it's kind of Socratic, actually. Socrates says, I know nothing but the fact of my ignorance. Like I was really smart, right? He knows that he doesn't know, but he wouldn't know that he didn't know if he wasn't smart. All right. So it's kind of, interesting. But okay, so you're a newbie and you've never hit a tennis ball before. And so here comes the tennis ball, and you've got all the motor skills that you need to do it, right? Physically, you're able, but part of the lack of confidence will be demonstrated in a weakness and a not definiteness of posture, and that kind of sucked and whatever. But let's say you hit a million tennis balls. Here comes the tennis ball, same exact tennis ball. Confidence. Right? I've hit tennis balls a million times, right? I know how in fact, now I have distinctions. I can see the subtle nuances of the angle of flight, the speed, right? Where it's going to bounce, right? Because you've done it. That's what? That's revealing that you're confident, that you're able, that you know stuff. And if we have to start on a low gradient, fine. Okay. But there's more mountain to climb. That's cool. You will go up the mountain. You will. If you're operating, right, if you're doing, then you're going to develop confidence. And if you're lacking confidence in some area, you're not doing it, or you're not recognizing how successfully you've been able to do it up to this point. So I teach others to be prosperous and operate from a position of strength, confidence, and humility. So whereas some people might think, okay, we're going down the road of you're invincible, strength and confidence, right? Well, temper that with humility. And what is humility? It's honest self-appraisal. Yes, I am strong. Yes, I am confident in these areas. And yes, I know that I don't know in these other areas. I can develop my strengths while managing my weaknesses. And because of honest self-appraisal, I don't berate myself. I may be my own worst critic at times, but when I remember honest self-appraisal, well, fine. Yes, I do suck at that. I could be critical about my suckage all day long in that area. But look at these other areas, honest self-appraisal. We can't just take half the picture here. We got to see the whole picture. I just demonstrated that to you just as we were getting started here. My wife, Shannon, is a way better copywriter than me. I can write philosophy and prose and nonfiction, and I'm friggin' awesome. I love the dictionary. I think it's the best self-help book ever written. But when it comes to like those little, little hits in the email and the sales page and all this kind of stuff, she has excelled me. And how has she done that? How has she done that? Well, she's had more attention on it. She's hit more tennis balls. So does that mean, John, you're so lowly when it comes to this area? And I don't completely suck. Don't get me wrong. All right. So honest self-appraisal here. Yeah, I'm better than most, but compared to her. So I have a choice to make, right? Because I'm operating myself from a position of strength, confidence, and humility. I have a choice to make. Would I like to get better at that? Well, go through the courses that she's gone through, read the books that she's read, study with the people she's studied with, and do it enough to the point where you suck less. Right? So what areas of your life could you practice humility, where maybe you've only been one-sided and said, oh, I'm not good at that. Or on the other hand, like manic, like I'm the greatest thing ever in the world. Okay, so where can you practice honest self-appraisal in your life? Right? Some of the most competent people that I know who are masters of their craft continue to study in their craft. They develop their strengths continuously. I think of one example would be a surgeon who is consistently in the journals of medicine and the latest techniques and the lasers and and I don't know anything about that. I know that I don't know. It's not my field of interest, nor will I ever be interested in that, at least while I'm walking around in this body. But then, oh yeah, that's the thing, right? Now, woe unto the surgeon who does not get with the latest advances, who rests on their laurels. So part of humility is knowing, yeah, I suck at that. Yes, I'm great at that. And victory is fleeting. Wasn't that like the Roman, the general would return to Rome and the assistant would be like, hey, victory's fleeting. You're only human, right? So before you even talk to Caesar, just know that, yeah, this was a nice victory, but that's not the whole story, right? So humility. I don't know if I agree with that method, having someone to walk around and invalidate you all day long, but or to discount your great achievements. Hey man, we just conquered Germania. Like what can I have a win here, please? Can I have a friggin' win? So humility, what does that mean to you? I'll give you the whole sentence again. I teach others to be prosperous and operate from a position of strength, confidence, and humility. That came to me in a meditation, right? So this wasn't stuff that I didn't take a copywriting class to do this, all right? This was stuff that I sat and I got quiet and I thought about, who the hell am I? Where am I going? What are we even doing here? And this is one of the things that came up. So I'm going to ask you, each of you, if you don't already have this, or even if you already do, let's say you've got a goal card written out and maybe you haven't rewritten it in a while. That could be an exercise, right? Proctor said, rewrite this stuff every day. Pen, paper, journal, write it every day, and things crystallize. And it's a little bit different today, right? And if you don't have this, if you don't have something like this written out for yourself, if you're just winging it, well, maybe you can do something about that today, right? I mean, think of what if you had, all right, here's your child and they are learning about life and you're going to instruct them. And they are going to be making decisions when you're not there, okay? And you want to prepare them to make those decisions. How would you instruct them? Instruct yourself that way now. If you can just get a bit objective, get away from yourself for a bit and just look at yourself. Oh, Missy. All right, well, I'm not Missy anymore. I'm this observer. Okay. And Missy, here is your instruction. This also correlates very nicely with people entering the field of entrepreneurship, right? So whereas the boss would tell them as an employee, well, you must do this and thus to get your paycheck, right? And so that's like a directive, an instruction, a command, right? People have to learn how to give themselves a command and then have the discipline to execute the command, right? I mean, if we're walking around broken or in a state, like I said before, in a state of mystery, wondering why things, don't work the way you want them to or whatever, well, where have you either not received the command or not understood it or neglected it or rejected it, or just been plain lazy, not demonstrating power, not demonstrating ability? It's easy to be lazy, which, is no surprise, right? If success was easy, everybody would have it and we'd be called mediocrity, right? So, but it's not mediocrity. It's success. It's outrageous, unapologetic, super powerful success. That's what we're after here. And again, no apologies about that. Because look, I don't think the world needs more victims. I think we got plenty of victims, right? It's very fashionable, real sticky. People that get into it, they agree with each other about it. Everything sucks. There's nothing we could do about it. I mean, just turn on the news. Please don't. Or we could be the victor. We could be the leader. But we're not going to lead anybody if we can't lead ourselves. Not any sane people anyway. You can lead other insane people. That's victim society, right? Blind leading the blind and all this. Lemmings off the cliff. You know the analogies. Okay. But if we intend to attract and lead others, we damn well better lead ourselves. Now, I will tell you that I have people that I look up to in different aspects of life and activity and endeavor who are further up the mountain than I am in this or that area, right? To keep me on track. Because I haven't arrived. So again, that's a statement of humility. And so I think that no matter what you're intending for yourself, or wherever you're intending to lead yourself and others, you should have a mentor or mentors who are sympathetic with your purposes and who want you to demonstrate that strength, that power. I can't do all this alone. This morning, my wife was my mentor in one aspect. Right. I'm not looking for a messiah. Okay. I'm talking about role models and things that you can say, wow, that was really good. What's interesting too is that the person who can't admit that somebody else is really good at something, wow, that was friggin' spectacular. That's the person who's got the low self-confidence. Right. I've got to be all things to all people. Man, I'm the greatest. Wow, you're really fragile. You're really fragile. Right. It's almost like a Lamborghini. Lamborghinis are beautiful and they go really fast. They're great to look at, but my goodness, they're fragile. Super high maintenance. Kind of like a Greyhound. I had a Greyhound. I love Greyhounds. Beautiful. Fast as hell. Second fastest land animal on the planet. Gorgeous. Fragile. All right. And stupid. I mean, anybody ever been around a Greyhound? Oh my goodness. They're the dopiest dogs ever. They don't know anything, right? They grow up, all they know their whole life. I'm on a tangent now, but it's Fun Friday and I don't give a shit. So all they know is other Greyhounds. That's it. No other breeds of dogs exist, only Greyhounds. trainer, right? Here's the person who gives them food and teaches them whatever, and rabbit, kill rabbit, right? That's it. That's their whole life until they're retired. Typically means when they're killed, right around 2 years old. Oh yeah, it's ugly, which is why we got into like greyhound rescue. We adopted a greyhound. We fostered greyhounds. There's a lot of foster failures in that space, by the way. Yeah, I'll take the greyhound for a couple of weeks till we find it a home. Hound never leaves. Next thing you know, they got 5 greyhounds. But yeah, they kill these dogs after like 2 years because they can't win races anymore. They're no longer profitable, right? So like a year and a half is their prime. So so we got this greyhound, and we're going back 10 years now, more than 10 years. In fact, this greyhound lived to 13 and a half years old. His name was Pharaoh. He died a couple months before Trinity, my daughter, was born. So she's 11 now, almost 12. So we're going back some years. Gorgeous dog. Doesn't know anything. I mean, dumb as a box of rocks. Walking into glass, like the sliding glass door, right? You got to put like stickers on the sliding glass door. What the hell is glass? I have no idea what this is, right? We had a swimming pool, right? Right? Boom, right into the swimming pool. Like what? Water? Big body of water? Never heard of it. What is it? Shannon had to, fully clothed. Shannon had to jump in the pool and extract the greyhound. Doesn't know nothing. But it sees a rabbit in the yard. That rabbit doesn't have a chance. Not even a chance. Okay. It could take a rabbit like 20 yards away, like that, dead every time. They're like in flight. I don't know if you've ever seen a greyhound in flight. Unbelievable speed. Huge hind muscles, right? The hind legs, big muscles. Brisket, I suppose you call it. But dopey and fragile, very thin skinned, right? All muscle, no fat, just like thin skin, thin hair, and couch potatoes. They just lounge around all day, put their legs up in the air, right? Just airing themselves to the world. Unless they see a small animal. Very high prey drive. But that's all bred into them. What am I talking about? I have no idea. Do you guys have anything you want to talk about? What was our topic? Strength, confidence, and humility. Yeah. Well, greyhound, perfect example, right? Strength, in this case, speed. Confidence, they're going to kill that rabbit. They have no question about it. They're going to kill the rabbit. They win, always. And humility. We're going to lounge and be lazy all day because that's what we do until it's race time. What do you think, Missy?
Well, first of all, hello, everybody. It's been a while. I miss everybody. I miss your sense of humor because it's so unique and just hysterical. I was just thinking about that word humility because I have a fairly good relationship with the dictionary. But sometimes that word humility gets mixed up.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a tendency to berate myself if one little thing goes wrong because I have a perfectionist thing going on that I'm trying to fight and, get rid of and replace with something else. But that thing, I just had it yesterday. Bob and I went for a little walk. I'm trying to be authentic and reveal myself here. Went for a walk and I said, Bob, I have nothing to look back here. There's nothing to say, blah, 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 blah. He said, well, you did this, you did that. I said, no, I did that bad. He goes, well, you took care of your parents. I said, well, I did that wrong because they should have lived with. And he ran out of things. He says, well, I guess there's nothing then, So you have to self-validate. I guess I was looking for him to validate me, and he did on a million things. And yet I would not accept it because it wasn't done perfectly. So I just want to caution everyone, humility does not mean berating yourself. And I literally couldn't see one good thing because all I could see was, well, if I had done this, well, then that wouldn't happen. So, and here I am over the age of 30, and I'm still learning this, way over the age of 30. So, but it doesn't matter. I don't care what my age is because learning is eternal. And I just am grateful to hear this again at this point. I wish I'd heard it yesterday. Maybe it wouldn't have played a role because I was blocking it then. So thank you for the reminder again, because I've got to cut this stuff out. And I wish I have an intention to, but it doesn't happen just on the intention. You have to catch yourself doing it and then not do it. And then use that success to look back on and say, well, I did it yesterday, so I can stop it today. Again, it always takes action, not thought. And so thanks again. And I'm so glad to see everybody again. I missed this. Thank you, John.
Thank you, Missy. Good to see you as well. I just pulled up the dictionary, humility, which led me to humble. So let's just take this up real quick. Definition 1, having or showing a modest or low estimate of one's own importance. Let's see, of an action or thought offered with or affected by a modest estimate of one's own importance. Okay, definition number 2, of low social, administrative, or political rank. Okay, so a humble, servant kind of a thing. And definition number 3, of a thing of modest pretensions or dimensions. Okay. Now we look at the derivation. Old French, Latin humilis, low, lowly, from humus, ground. So here it is. This is what is. This is the ground. We're not pretending, no pretense. Okay, nor are we below ground. We're grounded. That's how I think of humility.
Can I just say one more thing about
Of course.
that? There's nothing more attractive than a great man who everybody knows is George Washington had humility. And he didn't walk around saying, oh, I wrecked that battle, my horse got you. He understood his capabilities, but he was humble about it. He was never berating himself. He just didn't think that he was better than anybody else. And that's one of the things that makes him so attractive as a figure in our history. And there are many, many other people who have done the same thing. So that first definition you read, maybe we should go back to a really old dictionary and look up the word humility, because Jesus Christ was humble and he was God, he was humble. So we need to. And Bob was mentioning the other day, I guess in book study, you pulled up the dictionary. He loves that. He loves it. And we got to keep going back because we're not a dictionary. We need to go back, and we need to go back to a good dictionary. And just think of George Washington, who they wanted to make him a king. And he said, no, not here. We're not doing that. We just got rid of one. So He was humble enough to say, he could have said, hey, you know what? I saved this whole thing. And I made it happen, but he didn't. He stepped back and he stepped away after 2 terms and set an example. That's true humility, not I stink, I rot, I did this wrong. Honest self-appraisal.
But he didn't even get paid. He didn't even want to get paid for it.
No, he did not.
There's only one other president who said, don't pay me for this.
That is correct.
Yep.
That is correct. And he wasn't a billionaire, George Washington either.
Well, no, wasn't he a farmer?
He was a very wealthy farmer, but he wasn't a billionaire.
Well, that's the people we need in governance, right? Is like, all right, I'm going to go reluctantly and do this public service thing. I'm a statesman. I don't need fame. And 4 years, all right, eight, and then that's it. I'm out, right? So yeah, maybe we'll get back to that. Mandy, great stuff. Mandy says she likes this definition she found: freedom from pride or arrogance. There we go, which would be a pretense, right? A pretended, not grounded, right? So freedom from pretense, we could say. Good stuff. Wow, guys. Great talk today. Anybody else? All right. Let's end off with one chicken joke then.
Wait.
Oh, yes. Hey,
John.
Linda.
How's it going?
I'm great.
Okay. So I've been reading Power of Intention from Wayne Dyer.
Dyer.
Dyer. Well,
Who did die.
And
yeah,
I know.
Right.
So I've been listening, actually, not reading, but yeah, he talks about, the power of intention, which basically, we get what we say to ourselves. So we have to set that every single day. So if we're talking negatively to ourselves, then that's what we're gonna get. But he also lays out say this to yourself, then say the opposite. And he tells you what you should say to yourself, gives you a guide on it. So I thought that was really great. And, you know, we're all of one spirit. We're all connected. None of us are any better than anyone else. And we have to remember that. So yeah, great book. You know, another great book I just read too was You Too Can Be Prosperous. And chapter 6, basically what it does there is it tells you to list all the negative things that you say about yourself, and basically to put, you know, like the opposite of that, and then put the stuff that you don't like and basically burn it. But that's very enlightening when you actually go and do the work and list all these things that you actually say to yourself. So, and that's it.
Thank you, Linda. Quick question for you.
Yep.
Why did the chicken lawyer cross the road?
Why did the chicken lawyer cross the road? I don't know. Some law term, I'm
Get
sure.
to the car accident on the other side.
Oh, to get to the car. Okay.
All right.
I don't know. I mean, wait, I don't know if you want to consider that as a book study book, John, but
Well,
attention.
I'll be sending out all the particulars about our transition here this weekend.
Yep. Okay.
So in our Brand Builder AI Mastery Group, we are going to have a book study. Our first book will be Made to Stick. Linda, I don't know if you were on right at the beginning, but today we did a copywriting class for our 5-day Launch Your Irresistible Offer Challenge, which is free for everybody to participate. I did put it in every channel as well. So, but definitely you need to go through that, because I know you were interested in, you know, writing better, you know, emails and stuff like that.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I'm on vacation next week, so maybe I can carve out some time in between hikes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. So, all right. Thanks, John. Great
welcome.
session.
Love you,
very
Linda.
powerful.
Great.
Love you too. Okay. Thanks. Bye.
All right, guys. I'll be back here at 6. If anybody wants to get together for open Q&A, be heard 6 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. In the meantime, have an awesome day. Let's get some stuff done, and I will see you again real soon.